Hey guys, it's Jody with Board Game Perspective. Today we are taking a look at Champions of Midgard, a 2 to 4 player game published by Gray Fox Games. Now this game is a Viking themed worker placement game where you're going to be rolling dice to try to defeat monsters and trolls to get the most glory. Let's see how it plays. Let's do a quick overview of how to set up the game. So you have the game board in the middle here. Each player will have one of their discs that they will put on the score track up in the corner here. Now you'll have a bunch of stuff in the general supply. You'll have food and wood, the wood being brown and the food being the red. Then you'll have blame tokens over here. You'll also have the coins on the side here, the favor tokens, and then you'll have a bunch of the Viking warriors, which is a bunch of the dice here. Now I'm setting this game up for a 2-player game. So for the market stalls here, there's spots for 3 and 4 players, but we're only doing a 2-player game. So for a 2-player game, you're going to draw from your the box 1 military and 1 economic market stall tile, and you will place them in these 2 market stall places right here. And that's going to be another spot. Then you also grab these longship tiles from the box. You have these 2 public longships with a capacity of 5 and capacity of 10, which you will place in this shipwright, where you will place right there. Then you will also have in the box several tiles that are private longships. For this one, 2-player game, you're going to be using the capacity 6, capacity 8, the 2 tiles, and you'll set them off on the side right here, just like that. So in this game, there's also a bunch of different cards. So you're obviously going to shuffle them all, and then we're going to place them on the board. So here is where the merchant cards go. So you're going to shuffle them, then you're going to put the stack right here, and then you'll flip one over face up. Then you got the destiny cards, which you will just simply put there. And on the board, it shows the symbol of the backside of the card to help you figure out exactly where all these different cards need to go. Then you'll place the stack of the rune cards with 2 face up there. Then you'll have the troll cards up here where you'll place 1 face up, Draugr cards where you place 2 face up. Now at the bottom of the board you will place the journey cards in a stack here, and then in this 2-player game we don't use this column here, so we put journey cards in these spots right here face down, and then we have monster cards with 3 face up. Now the game comes with multiple player boards, so each person's going to choose one. So this person chose one here. And each player board, there is a special ability for the character. Now each player is going to have start with 1 favor token, 1 coin, 1 wood, 1 food, and also 1 swordsman Viking warrior. Now this on the board shows how many spots are available to have Viking warriors. So you can only have max of 8. Then you can place your disc here just to help you out. And then you will have a starting player. And also you will have 4 meeples. So this is a 2-player game, so you'll have 4 available to use, and then the other one will be in the supply. Each player also starts with 1 destiny card. So this game is played over 8 rounds, where you will be sending your workers out into the town in different locations to gather up supplies and weapons, and then you will be sending out your Viking warriors, which are the dice, to fight off monsters and trolls. And then at the end of the 8th round, whoever has the most glory is the winner. So let's take a look at how we start playing. Now at the beginning of each round, you want to make sure that you have the neutral card face up here, 2 Draugr cards face up. You also want to, if there's an open spot here for the rune, you want to make sure you put a rune card out. Then you will place a black die, red die, and white die in these spots. Now if there were already some here, you leave it and you just add to it. Same with the smokehouse, you'll add 1 food here. For the merchants, you will simply just flip 1 card over and play with that one. And then down here, if there's an empty spot in the journey card, you will fill it in with the journey cards, and same with the monster. If there's an empty spot here, you'll fill it in with the monsters. So each player will be taking turns placing out their workers on different locations on the board. Now there are three main types of locations. There's brown locations, blue, and red. The brown and blue locations get resolved immediately after you place your worker there. Now these are blue simply just because it shows that we need to take action whenever we do round setup. So this stuff needs to be replenished. Now the red spots are combat locations, and these will be resolved at a later time. So let's go over all the different worker locations that you can go. So these up here are the red ones, so these are going to be combat related things. So this is the only spot on the board, as you can see by multiple circles, where you can put multiple workers there. So let's say I put my guy there. Now this will be resolved at a later time in the combat resolution phase. And same thing here, you can put a worker here to fight the troll at a later time. And then there's 2 spots available to fight the draugrs at a later time as well. Alright, so you can also place your worker on any of these spots here. And all this is simply taking all the resources or Viking warriors there. So if I put my guy there, I can take all the dice here. Same thing for all these different spots. If I go here, I can take all the food here. You can place your worker here at the market and simply trade a food, coin, or wood for each other. So it's a 1-to-1 ratio. So I could exchange 1 food for 1 wood, 1 food for 1 coin, etc. Here at the market stalls, you can. So if I went here, I could turn in 1 coin in order to get 2 of the warrior dice of those colors. If I went here, I would simply get 2 glory, and that would just score me 2 points on the score track. And then if I went down to this merchant ship, I could turn in 1 coin and get 2 food and 1 wood. Over here at the runesmith, you can turn in 1 wood in order to get 1 card. So now you can draw from either the top of the deck or one of these face-up cards. And these just allow you to do special things to help you out. And they also score glory by these symbols on the card here. Then you can go over here, which allows you to take the start player token, so you can be the next start player. And then 1 white dice, swordsman die from the supply. Then you can go here, and this is where you can recruit an extra worker that you have in the supply. The first person that goes there has to pay 5 coins, and whoever does can grab their extra worker from the supply. And then the next person has to pay 4 coins, and so on. Here at the Stave Church, you can turn in coins to get favor tokens. So for instance, I could turn in 1 coin, and so I turn in 1 coin, and then I get 1 favor token for that. Here I can get one of these destiny cards that I can put in my supply or in my personal play area. These are game end objectives. And then I could also take a look at one of the journey cards that are down below by the monsters that are face down. I can take a look at one of those. Here at the shipwright, this is where you can recruit a private longship. Now, the private longships are the ones that are on the side of the board, and the cost of these ships are on this left side. It says cost, for instance, this one would be 1 wood and 1 coin to purchase this. And I would also get 4 glory at the end of the game as well. So if I did get this, then this simply goes into your personal play area, where you could eventually place another worker here to have your longship come out to fight monsters. Now there are 2 public longships here. One capacity of 5, and then this one capacity of 10. Now you can place your worker here, and if I do, this one's free. Then after you place your worker there, you slide it down to one of these open spots for this corresponds with a monster. So then you figure out which monster you want to fight, and you're going to place your longship there to eventually fight them in an extra round. Now if I wanted to take this one instead, then I would have to pay a coin and then place this here to fight during the combat resolution. After all the workers have been placed out, then you're going to assign your Viking warriors. Now this is where you're going to find where you place a worker in one of the combat zones, and you're going to assign workers to those locations. So for instance, the red player wanted to fight this guy here. So he's going to assign workers that he wants to use to this card. And so you're just going to simply place the dice on the card. Now, there are cards that show symbols with that crosses out the spears. That means you cannot use the red spear dice to combat this Draugr. And there's also other cards that show no axes or no swords. The same thing applies. You wouldn't be able to use any axeman dice, the black dice, to fight this either. The other combat areas are these long ships here to fight monsters. Now, the blue player put their guy on this public long ship. Now, the capacity of this ship is 10. That means the total amount of dice and food that you put on this long ship cannot exceed 10. So here I've got 2 food I'm going to put down and 4 dice. That's how you're going to assign the warriors. And then, so that is obviously less than 10, so the capacity is fine. After you've assigned all your Viking warriors to the combat locations, now you're going to resolve the combat. So the first thing you do is you have to resolve the hunting grounds first. Now, what you do here is, if you have any dice left on your player board that hasn't been assigned to other combat locations, and you have a worker on the hunting ground spot, then you will take these dice and you will roll to see how many hits you have, and however many you have is how many food you can take. But the max of food you can take is 6. So in this roll, I simply had one spear, so all I could take would be 1 food for that location. Next, you will fight the troll. Now, you will participate in combat until either the player or the troll has been defeated. If no one in this round defeats the troll, then all players will receive 1 blame token. Now, blame tokens will be negative points at the end of the game. If this player did defeat the troll, then they would get the glory in the bottom corner, which is victory points, and then they could remove 1 blame token that they have in their play area and then give somebody else a blame token. And then they would also take 1 wood from the supply. Next, you will resolve the combat of the Draugrs here if anyone has a worker on this location. If no one has a worker on this location, then you just simply move to the next step. Now, if the Draugr is defeated, they will get the benefits at the bottom. So this one would be 6 glory and 4 coins. Next, you will resolve the combat with the monster area and this longship. So this person had put a longship here. So the first thing you're going to do is reveal the journey card that is underneath it to see what it says. This one says all quiet. So that's a good thing. That means nothing has to be done. Now, there are other cards that might say, let's see, let's find one here. Oh, there's a lot of. So here's one right here. So if this one was flipped over, this says lose 1 food. So then the player would have to discard 1 of the food that was on the long ship. But thankfully this one's nice and they don't have to do anything with that. Now, after that, you have to resolve feeding your warriors. So in this location, 1 food will feed 2 warriors. So this person had placed 2 food and they have 4 warriors. So they would simply return these food to the supply. And these warriors can move on to fight the monster. Now, in a location over here, you need one food for 1 warrior. So it doesn't take you as further. So let's go over the details of combat. So how we actually defeat the troll or how the troll defeats you. So on each card, or troll card, monster card, etc., you will see these 2 different symbols here. This is how many hit points you have to defeat this troll, and then this is how much defense the troll has. So what you're going to do is you're going to take all the dice that you assigned to fight this troll, and you're going to roll them all. Alright, so I rolled 1 axe and 2 blank dice, so these are nothing. Now at this point, you can choose to use one of your favor tokens, and what this does is allow you to re-roll 1 or all of your dice 1 time. So I'm going to go ahead and use that token and re-roll one more time. All right, so now this time I got 2 axes and those are nothing. So after you roll, you're going to deal out damage simultaneously. So that is going to be your damage that you've done to the troll. So you've got 2 axes here. So you're going to grab these damage tokens here and put 2 on the troll. And then the troll does 2 damage to you. So you're going to lose 2 of your Viking warriors. So I'm going to go ahead and just get rid of those 2 and they go to the supply. Now, at this point, I have defeated the troll before he's defeated me because I still have 1 warrior dice left. But I have 2 hit points and he only needs 1 to be defeated. So at this point, this has survived. So this will return to my player board to be used in future rounds. And then these tokens are taken off and I will take this card to my play area. And then I will also score anything down here because I've defeated this troll. Let's say the result of my first roll was this, where I had no spears or shields or anything. So this is not a very good roll. So what happens now is you still have to deal the damage simultaneously. So obviously I have no damage to deal to the troll, but the troll does 2 damage to me. So at this point, I have to get rid of 2 dice. So I will choose to get rid of 2 dice and return it to the supply. And at this point, no one has been defeated. So you start over again, the process again. And so now what you're going to do is you're going to pick up your die and you're going to roll it. All right, so I rolled 1 hit there, and so I'm going to put 1 hit on that troll. Now he does 2 damage to me, so all I have left is 1 dice, so I have to get rid of this, and this goes back to the supply. Now, he only needed 1 hit to be defeated, which I did, so then I would take this one to my supply and score any points. Now on some of the dice, there are these little shield symbols, which we're going to go over right now. So say I had rolled this as my result, and that's obviously nothing, 1 hit point, so I would put 1 hit there, and then I have 1 shield. So what that does is it shields me from his 2 attack. So at this point, I dealt my damage, so now the troll deals the damage to me. So because of this, the shield, I only lose 1 dice. So I can choose which one I want to get rid of. I'm going to get rid of this one. And at this point, I've had my damage, and I did damage to the troll, and the troll has been defeated. So I will take this troll and score points, and then these 2 dice are surviving and will return to my supply as well. After all the combats have been resolved, then you're going to do a cleanup to prepare for the next round. So what you're going to do is you're going to just take back, everyone's going to take back all of their workers, put them back into their personal supply. Then you will put any public longships back into their appropriate spots. If any journey cards have been revealed, you're going to remove that card and place it in the discard pile and put the next one out in that location. Then if there are any monsters that have not been defeated, you will place 1 coin on each monster, like that. And then if the troll has not been defeated, then you will discard the troll and put out a new troll card. And if the troll was not defeated, each player will take 1 blame token. If the dragger has not been defeated, then you will remove both of those as well. After the 8th round, the game is over and you'll proceed to scoring. Now the rulebook suggests that you score each player 1 at a time. So there are many things that will give you points. So let's go over some of them. So first are these destiny cards. Now these are pretty much end of the game objectives, and they give you different points depending on if you are first or second. Like for instance, this one says you have the most blame at the end of the game. So there's a bunch of different scenarios. So those will give you points. Then for each set of red, yellow, and blue cards, each set will give you 5 points as well, and you can have multiple sets of those. And then you have the rune cards. Now, these cards will have glory symbols on the bottom of the cards. So for instance, this one has 3 glory, and you will just simply add 3 glory to your score. Now, if you have a private longship that you obtained, now this will also score you points. So this one will have 4 victory points or 4 glory that you can score. And then any unspent favor tokens that you obtain throughout the game, these will be 2 points each at the end of the game. And then for every set of 3 coins, that will be 1 point or 1 glory as well. Lastly, you count how many blame tokens each player has, and however many tokens depends on how many points you lose. Now in the rule book, there is a table that shows you how many points you lose for how many tokens. So for example, the blue player ended up with 4 blame tokens, so they will have minus 10 points or 10 glory that you will score. And then after that, you will see where you guys are on the glory track, and whoever has the most glory is the winner. And that is how you play Champions of Midgard. Now, if this seems like a game you might be interested in, we have a link in the description below where you can get this game. And also, if you like what you saw today, go ahead and hit that subscribe button to support us, and thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.